Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby is excused absence. Councilmember Johnson. Councilmember Lau. Mayor Pro Tem Kashfagita.
I'm here today. Thank you so much.
Mayor Hepburn. Thank you, sir.
City Attorney, City Council will meet in closed session for the following. Please.
My pleasure, Mr. Mayor. Conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. Negotiators, city manager, assistant city manager, and city attorney. Employee organizations, Laverne City Employees Association, Laverne Firefighters Association, Laverne Fire Middle Management, Laverne Police Officers Association, Laverne Police Middle Management Association, and all unrepresented employees. Conference with legal counsel, initiation of litigation pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9D4, potential litigation, one case. And conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, workers' compensation appeals, case number WCAB ADJ 1924589 and ADJ 194322803. We may have reporting out on the item of potential initiation of litigation. That is all.
We good, yeah? Okay, we'll just go. Well, first of all, good evening, everybody, tonight. We're going to start this meeting tonight at 6:34 p.m., September 15th. I want to remind everyone that per the city's rules of decorum, all speakers, members of the audience, and council members are to conduct themselves with decorum and not to engage in conduct that interrupts the orderly conduct of the city council meeting. Also, public comment through Zoom may be accepted for the agenda items listed within the consent calendar, public hearing and discussion calendar sections of the agenda. General public comments will be accepted at the meeting by those physically in attendance at the appropriate time. Tonight, we are very pleased to have the 64th Civil Air Patrol Squadron to conduct the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please come forward?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stand at ease. That was pretty impressive, don't you say, Laverne? That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? A fine men and future men and women in our military, armed forces that are serving now and continue to serve. God willing, they decide to do so. I have with me here today is Civil Air Patrol. Are you a cadet, Barba, or what's the official rank for Civil Air Patrol?
Technically, sir, I am a cadet senior master sergeant, second highest NCO the program has to offer. Technically, I am not considered services. However, we serve as a civilian auxiliary under the United States Air Force.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I would say a majority of you will wind up, majority of what I've seen, will wind up going to the ROTC rank or commission or enlist, correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
How about you tell our amazing folks here, what is the Civil Air Patrol? Because maybe there's some folks here who have the kids that would love to join. And I think and where are you guys located? And just maybe a little bit about the Civil Air Patrol. You guys are welcome. Please sit down. Yes, please. we got everybody at attention today. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a city that loves its veterans. So, without further ado, let me introduce Master Civil Air Patrol Master Sergeant Barba.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to speak amongst every single one of you and talk about this amazing program. The Civil Air Patrol is a civilian auxiliary directly under the United States Air Force. We have 3 main missions. The first one is our cadet programs. This is where if you have any children, ages 12 through 18 are allowed to participate in activity that trains their leadership while also exploring their new horizons in aviation. Which brings me to my second mission for Civil Air Patrol, which is the aerospace education component. Along with this, we also include topics among STEM kids. We also teach our cadets about aerospace-related topics such as aviation and also space exploration as well. Our third and most important component is our emergency services component. Civil Air Patrol has been involved in multiple search and rescue operations, along with searching for missing aircraft, and our cadets and senior members are actively participating and taking part in these operations to help make our community safer. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing me to speak about this lovely program. Back to you, sir.
What a professional. What a professional. Make us proud. Who's with you here today? Introduce.
I'm the local squadron commander. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Ken Hartwell.
I am Lieutenant Kumar with the Squadron 64.
Well, thank you for introduce a certificate here. City of Laverne, certificate of recognition presented to Civil Air Patrol Squadron 64. This certificate is presented on behalf of the Laverne City Council to Civil Air Patrol Squadron 64 with great gratitude and appreciation for your service to our community. Thank you. Please. Where are you guys located? Come on. Okay.
Mr. Domer, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilmember Crosby is absent. Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Lau. Present. Mayor Pro Tem Kashifagita.
Present.
Mayor Hepburn.
Present.
Thank you, sir.
We did have a closed session before this meeting started at 6:30. Attorney Barlow, did we have anything to report out?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. On the item of potential initiation of litigation, the council did vote to authorize participation in initiating litigation with parties who shall be named later. On motion of Councilmember Lau, seconded by Councilmember Johnson, the vote was 4-0 with Councilmember Crosby absent. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Tonight we have 4 presentations. First is the proclamation for National Preparedness Month. Each September, National Preparedness Month is recognized to promote disaster and emergency planning, emphasizing the need to strengthen community and resilience. This observance serves as a crucial reminder for residents to stay informed and do better equipped to handle emergencies. We will have Community Risk Reduction Specialist Lonnie Shipman. And our CERTs, come on up. Come on over. Our CERT program is probably one of the finest, if not the finest, in the San Gabriel Valley. We really appreciate all you guys do. They make sure in any emergency situation they're called to order to make sure that our first responders have resources, but also our residents have resources for any kind of disaster that could happen. And so we thank you guys for the CERT training you did, but also for the CERT training you continue to do and what you're the backbone. If we have any functions or anything, they're always there in case of emergency. 4th of July, but again, at any emergency situation, we call on them and they come running, literally, to assist our residents. So thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Round of applause, guys. Come on. Whereas each September, National Preparedness Month is observed nationwide to encourage families and communities to plan for disasters and emergencies, highlighting the year-round importance of readiness and in promoting accessibility and cultural competency to strengthen the nation's overall preparedness. And whereas the 2025 theme, Preparedness Starts at Home, focuses on getting back to the essentials of preparedness and the actions that can be taken for people to prepare for any disaster they may face. And whereas the City of Laverne equips residents with resources to prepare for potential disasters, including participation in the Community Emergency Response Team CERT training program, again, thank you all, learning home hardening strategies through the NFPA Firewise USA program, staying informed on local emergencies via Nixle alerts, and gaining awareness to future tools such as Genesys Protect, and whereas the City of Laverne remains prepared to assist residents efficiently and effectively in the unlikely event of a natural disaster. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the City of Laverne that the month of September 2025 is recognized as National Preparedness Month and encourages residents to stay informed and invest emergency preparedness to the best of their ability, dated this 15th day of September, 2025. Mr. Shipman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Council. So, again, thank you, everybody. And I just want to point out our CERT program, they work extremely hard in really trying to assist the community in being prepared. You know, we have a saying in the fire service that if there is a large-scale disaster emergency, the first 72 is on you. And what that means is, you know, we're trying to make sure that you're aware it might be tough for first responders, police, and fire to get out to find you, to assist you, to provide what you need for those first 3 days. And so the CERT program does really help prepare you for those kinds of things. We pushed out a lot of information on our social media. We have Laverne Fire Department Instagram and Facebook page. Definitely hope you kind of keep an eye on those things for a lot of different tools and resources and educational information. But we do offer a CERT training program twice a year. It is volunteer run, so everybody you see up here, particularly wearing a CERT shirt, does help assist with the training. We actually have a couple new graduates that actually just graduated with our program this past Saturday, actually. And we've graduated, I think roughly we're at about 29 or so on the year, 16 and 13 or somewhere close to that, right? Okay, so yeah, close to 30. So we offer it in the fall, we offer it in the spring. Laverne CERT does have their own Facebook page as well, so please find Laverne CERT. They also have a website, and we push this information all the time. Classes, again, are free. So please join us if you have not joined us prior. We'd love to get you in a class and really help you get those tools that you need to be able to be self-resilient in the event of an emergency. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Lonnie. You know, the thing about emergency preparedness, and I've been pushing this out with our fire department, our police department, the most important thing is it's not if, it's when it's going to happen. And we all know that. We're in a high fire zone. We have experienced fires multiple years ago, but you need to prepare yourself, whether it be fire, earthquake, winds. We've all seen it. You know, the Ready, Set program, you can go on the website, as Lonnie Shipman said. Go on the website. Get your kits together. Get yourself ready. Because it's not, again, it's not if, it's when. It's going to happen. You need to be prepared. More people that are prepared, it's less on our emergency services, and it makes you in control of your own destiny. And I know I just pushed out one that the Chief Nig had put out, which was the evacuation in case of a fire. How important it is that you do a ready, set, go. Do not stay back. When they say evacuate, you evacuate. Make sure that you have everything in order because, again, it's not if, it's when. And it's so important because when people stay back, first of all, they can lose their lives, but second of all, they can drain the resources of our local safety personnel to go save that person when they could be saving a structure to save someone's home. So things like that are very important. Our website is amazing. All that information's on there. But again, kudos to our CERT program. They are the nuts and bolts that make sure that everything gets moving, make sure that everything's safe. Any function we have, again, I can't say it enough, and it's easy to apply. It's easy to apply, and it's really, really, really a wonderful, wonderful organization we have. So, again, thank you, Lonnie. And again, thank you all very much for all your service to our community. Thank you. That's okay. Next to the proclamation for Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated annually from September 15th to October 15th to recognize the contributions and influence of Hispanic Americans on the history, culture, and achievements of the United States. Yvonne Gallegos was supposed to be here, but if I could call up Lori Johnson, that would be Lori Castellano. Councilmember Steve Johnson's wife. She's going to kill me for this, but whatever.
My grandparents came here in the early 20s from Mexico.
Whereas National Hispanic Heritage Month, celebrated annually from September 15th to October 15th, recognizes the valuable and impactful contributions Hispanic culture has made in the United States. And whereas the 2025 theme, Collective Heritage, Honoring the Past, Inspiring the Future, highlights the history and journeys and achievements of the Hispanic and Latin American communities. And whereas the Hispanic community is the second largest demographic in the city of Laverne, playing a vital role in shaping the city's culture, commerce, and civic life. And whereas Laverne's Hispanic heritage is reflected in city leadership, as exemplified by Leo Lomelli, the first Hispanic city council member from 1950 to 1962, Robert Rodriguez, who was the longest-serving council member, holding office for 31 years from 1982 to 2013. and Councilmember Charlie Rosales, who served from 2011 to 2019. And whereas Laverne is proud to have Hispanic leaders in influential roles today who continue to drive community growth, foster inclusivity, and encourage civic engagement. And whereas the Committee on Cultural Awareness and Social Inclusion diligently advocates for the rights, equity, and inclusion of Hispanic residents of Laverne. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the City of Laverne that September 15th to October 15, 2025 is recognized as Hispanic, and encourage all residents to celebrate the invaluable contribution to the Hispanic community, both Laverne and the nation, dated this 15th day of September. Lori, this is yours. I'd ask her to speak again, but she probably will.
I could add one more first. My father was hired for the Bonita School District as the first Latino teacher.
Incredible. And I don't know if you guys know, but on Arrow Highway, and it should be opening soon, Lario's grocery store. It's a Hispanic meat market, and they have some of the best carne asada around. So you don't have to drive to Covina, West Covina, to go to the Lario's there. It's going to be in our town. They repurposed, which was the first Hispanic market, I think, originally, El Siglo, which was a segregated market. That's where they started that, because the Hispanic population back in the 20s and 30s, this was a segregated community, if some of you don't know that. So that was one of our not so great past, but they did create El Siglo Corporation, which is still intact today. Is it 100 years? Over 100 years, but that was the original Hispanic segregated market in Laverne. So now we all can use it, thank God. So anyway, congratulations. Oh, Lori, you got it. Good?
I don't know. Our third proclamation tonight is for Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder, FASD awareness. Occurs every September to advocate and support for individuals and families living with FASD. At this time, I'd like to call up Shannon Ayakobachi forward to receive this proclamation. I am trying. So whereas Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder, or FASD Awareness Month, is observed each September to raise awareness and advocate support of individuals and families living with FASD. And whereas FASD-related impairments from mild to severe and contribute to a range of issues such as learning disabilities, speech and language delays, visual and hearing problems, complications with critical organs, and social challenges throughout a person's life. And whereas, although the effects of prenatal alcohol exposure on the brain are irreversible, appropriate accommodations and supports assist people with FASD empowering successful lives. And whereas the good health and well-being of the people of Laverne are strengthened by civic efforts to educate about and prevent alcohol-exposed pregnancy, build FASD-informed communities. And whereas Embracing the Brain, an organization founded by Laverne resident Shannon Ayakobachi, is dedicated to supporting children with FASD and other brain-based differences, helping them successfully navigate both learning and life. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the City of Laverne that the month of September 2025 is recognized as Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder Month and reaffirms its commitment to fostering a community of individuals with FASD thrive. Wow.
I had to write it down. So thank you, Mayor Hepburn and City Council. This means a lot. I am deeply grateful that our city has taken this first step in raising awareness of fetal alcohol spectrum disorder with this proclamation. My journey into this work did not come in a classroom or a clinic, but at home as a parent. When my family was impacted by FASD, I quickly realized how little support, understanding, and accurate information was available. What started as a personal challenge became a calling to advocate for other families walking a similar path. My hope is this action will begin a ripple effect not only in our community, but also in our county and state levels of government to evoke systemic change that will increase awareness, education, and supports for individuals living with FASD. This proclamation plants a seed for education and awareness that can reduce the misconceptions about prenatal substance exposure and stigmas associated with FASD. With all government entities working together, we can create systemic change to provide individualized, appropriate supports at home, in the school, on the job, and throughout the community, resulting in better outcomes for individuals living with FASD and their families. Thank you.
Looks like no other.
Okay, the final presentation is the Laverne Photo Contest results this year. The city conducted the first ever photo contest to highlight Laverne, and over 40 submissions were received. Tonight, we will present the awards for the top photos across the various categories. Administrative Analyst Andrea Blockinger, please come forward.
All right, well, good evening, council, and all the residents here today. Can I adjust it? Thank you. So I have the pleasure to announce the winners of the first ever photo contest. This is something that we brainstormed earlier in the year of how can we highlight what we love about Laverne and see it from a unique perspective that the residents see every day. So we started our photo contest throughout the summer, giving residents the opportunity to submit pictures of how they perceive Laverne and what they love about Laverne. So we had over 40 submittals, as you said, and it really showed what we love about Laverne and the different highlights. We had, I have to hit next as I go through. It was across 5 different categories. We had Laverne Community, Laverne Fun, Laverne Landmarks, Nature, and Sports. And so I'm going to go through and then click, and we'll see the picture together. It'll be the big reveal. So, so the first one for Laverne Community is First Friendship by Michelle Maldonado. So this was one of the first submittals we received, and as we received the submittals, I was very excited opening them immediately. And so when I saw that, it just stuck with me, and I had to share it with everyone at City Hall. That this submittal was sent in. So Michelle Maldonado, if you're here, she said she may not be here, All right. No, not here. So she'll pick up her prize afterwards.
It says Michelle Maldonado, in recognition of being selected as the winner in the Laverne Community category for the 2025 photo contest. Your contribution, First Friendship, beautifully showcases the spirit of Laverne.
All right. So next is Laverne Fun. So the winning photo is called Fun at the Fireworks Show by Alyssa Schlange. So, of course, with the photo contest being during the summer, the highlight is the fireworks show and the 4th of July. That's something we all look forward to every year. Alyssa is not here today, but we will provide her with her prize after the fact. I kept her certificate in the back. Perfect.
There we go. Very good. Thank you.
All right, next one is Laverne Landmarks. So this is the winning photo called Founders Hall by Ryder Doherty. It's perfect.
Wendy? Is she here? No?
Oh,
Yay.
Oh. Please come forward.
Be here. The City of Laverne Certificate of Appreciation President Ryder Doherty, in recognition of the being selected as a winner in the Laverne Landmarks category for the 2025 photo contest. Your contribution to the Founders Hall beautifully showcases the spirit of Laverne. And Councilmember Lau, who is a graduate of the University of Laverne, is on the trustees, loves that picture. And my daughter, too, because I paid tuition for her to go to the University of Laverne. So, you have anything to say? No?
Oh, really quickly, let me... Yeah. All right, so the next category is Laverne Nature. The picture title is called Come Soar with Laverne's Natural Beauty, and this was submitted by Melissa Gersh. So this is the picture. Yeah, it's beautiful. And Melissa, if you are here.
Again, presented Melissa Gersh in recognition of being selected as the winner in the Laverne Nature category for the 2025 photo contest. Your contribution comes soar, and Laverne's natural beauty beautifully showcases the spirit of Laverne. Thank you very much.
All right, one more category to go. So Laverne Sports, the winning photo is So Be Emotional by Emily Casillas. She's not here with us tonight. She had to take more pictures down at ULV, but this is the picture she submitted. Yeah. So thank you to everyone who did submit for the photo contest. It was really great to see the residents' perspective of Laverne and being able to use these pictures and brag about what we love about Laverne. If anyone wants to look at all of the photos that have been submitted, they're on the website, so laverneca.gov/photo contest. Every submittal is posted there. And then, of course, I want to thank Cafe Wong and Roberta's. They both donated to the prizes that you guys have. So enjoy Laverne as much as you did with the pictures. We're hoping to do this again next year, so if anyone's interested, please submit for next year as well. All right.
Thank you, Andrea. Appreciate it. Thank you all. This is the time now for public announcements. This is not a public comment. It's all public announcements for upcoming community events. Let's see. We have Adrian Romero, the librarian. Thank you. Come on up.
Adrian.
There's our man.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. I'd like to introduce a few events that will be taking place at Laverne Library. Tomorrow we'll be holding a program for adults to celebrate Constitution and Citizenship Day, which is celebrated every year in September. During this event, people can share what it means to be a U.S. citizen while decorating their own patriotic wooden coaster. This month for teens, we'll be holding a stress management event on Thursday, September 25th at 4 p.m. During these sessions, teens can create their own stress ball and learn other healthy ways to reduce stress. And in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, the library will hold a program on Saturday, October 4th at 1 p.m. During this program, participants can create a matchbox nicho, which is a small, colorful box that honors loved ones or displays religious imagery. Originating in Latin America, this art design blends early Spanish influences with indigenous and mestizo designs. And on Wednesday, October 8th at 4 p.m., we'll be holding a Read Along Together program for children ages 6 to 12. During this event, children will be given the opportunity to read Shel Silverstein's The Giving Tree out loud to the group. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Adrian, very much. There's so many things that go on at the Laverne Library that you really need to go check their calendar, look on the website. There's always something going on. There's either bookmaking, paper cutting, origami. There's people to come and read books. There's authors. There's just so many things that go on there, and it's really one of our wonderful little, rich little things we have in our community. But you really need to use it. So please don't hesitate to go in and check their schedule, check online, and you can talk to Adrian every day. He's there every day, so and see what's going on and what's coming. So thank you very much. Anyone else on announcements? Sherry Best.
So I forgot to fill out a blue card, but I'll take care of that.
I think we know who you are.
Yes, I think you do. So the Laverne Historical Society would like to announce that we are going to be participating in the city-sponsored Trunk or Treat event on Saturday, October the 11th in the City Hall parking lot. Don't forget to attend. Bring your children, your grandchildren. This is a wonderful event. Our international truck will be there ready for you to pose with your pictures with that. It will be wearing its Halloween hat and ready for photo ops. We will need helpers to help pass out candy, and if you've been to this event, we need a lot of candy. So come get in touch with Kathy Kalusik if you want to help with this event. It's really a fun event. Our fall member and community meeting is coming up October 13th at the Veterans Hall. Vice President of the Historical Society, Kathy Kalusik, will preside. And please note that if you missed yesterday's fantastic ice cream social, we will be treating you to guess what? Ice cream with toppings. We will trot out some more of my chocolate fudge sauce, my salted caramel sauce, all homemade. And we will also have yummy sprinkles and mini M&Ms.
You didn't bring any tonight, did you?
I didn't. We sold out.
We could all use some ice cream tonight.
Yes, well, I do have ice cream. It's home in the freezer. I didn't want to bring it tonight. But we will bring ice cream, and I have to say the mini gummy bears were a surprising hit yesterday. So go figure. Anyhow, come to the meeting, bring your appetite for dessert, and we will bring the goodies, and we'll bring a donation jar for that. On the 8th of November, we are rolling out our vintage sale and home tour. We're touring 3 homes this year, 2610 3rd Street, 2607 3rd Street, and 2610 Bonita Avenue. This is a great event. We're going to kick it off with a dedication and a bronze marker at 2610 3rd Street, which is the Hannah Walt and Skip and Nancy Monero house. So that'll be really a wonderful event. Each property will have a vintage treasure table for purchase of vintage items, and we'll be selling our delicious jelly jam marmalade, salted caramel, and chocolate fudge sauces. Both of those, by the way, freeze. So if you want to buy them early, freeze them for Christmas, that's perfect. And we will be introducing our 2 new lines of jam. This is our honest-to-goodness peach jam. Not peach mango, just straight-up peach jam, very delicious. And our absolutely awesome apricot jam. And I brought some of all of that, and so find me after the meeting, and we'll have that available for you. So join the Historical Society and have a really nice time with us. Thank you.
What was the membership fee again?
Membership fee is $20 for an individual membership, $25 for a family membership, and $200 if you want me to stop bugging you and you can be a member forever. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. I will say the Historical Society is one of our blessings in our community for the fact that we keep our roots. It's very important to keep the roots and where we came from intact. That's what makes our community so wonderful, besides all the other wonderful things. But the Historical Society gives the history of how it started, even some of the rumblings that were rough starting with our community. But they're a wonderful society, and it would be great to do a lifetime membership. She doesn't have to bother you anymore, and it really funds a wonderful cause, because we want to get that 1938 International completely finished, so maybe a new paint job and some other things. So whatever you can do with them. Oh, we like the old paint job. Okay, just the way it is. Okay, then well, there you go. There you go. Very good. Well, thank you. Okay. Any other announcements? Anita, Ms. Beauchamp.
This is not a future event. This actually took place on Friday, the 12th. I want to thank Cynthia Gabaldon for being one of the main organizers. We had a rally and a vigil for Charlie Kirk on the White Avenue, Fruit Street, 210 overpass, and we had a very good turnout considering we had such a short period of time to organize that. And we were covered by Channel 2 and Channel 9, KCAL, CBS News. We were on at 9, 10, and 11 o'clock. I want to thank the community members who came and attended that, waved their flags, had their signs. Luke Melchizian had one of the best signs out there, and it was really an emotional time for people to express their sadness for someone that they had never even met before, but they somehow made an impact in their lives. The sign that he held said, "Jesus loves you." And I think if we have love in our community, I think we can overcome a lot of the barriers and obstacles that we face politically, religiously, educationally, in all categories. So I think if we have more compassion and love in our community, I think it will make all of us better. Thank you.
Thank you, Danita. Anyone else wish to speak on community announcements? With that, I'll close announcements. Council, any announcements? Councilmember Lau.
I just wanted to announce a couple things that are happening in the community coming up for people to be aware of. The 18th is Thursday. It's the Board of Forestry and Fire Protection is having a SoCal Zone Zero meeting where they will take input and feedback to talk about wildfire resilience in our communities. So if you are interested, there is a flyer. We'll leave it up. But it is from 10:30 to 5 p.m., but it is either in person or online. So if you can't make it in person because it's being held at the Pasadena Convention Center, you can also register to attend online. So we'll make this available so that folks can sign up.
It takes 2 minutes to go online. I did it today already, just so you can jump in and jump out of the meeting. So it's probably one of those important ones you want to watch, especially for our community. Anything else?
Oh, and then I was just going to announce that the A-Line grand opening is this Friday. So, go, you do it. Go.
Okay. It's finally here. The A-Line station will open. We're going to have festivities. The main ribbon cutting will be at the Pomona station. So I'm on the Gold Line Authority, so we'll be going from the Glendora station around 8:30 to the Pomona station. But starting around, I think it's 11 o'clock, the festivities will start. They'll have a food truck. They'll have festivities at each station, Laverne being one of them also. The train will start non-fare. It's free for the entire weekend. It'll start at 12 o'clock, so you can take the train anywhere you want to go. It'll go from Pomona all the way into L.A. or all the way down to Santa Monica, wherever you want to take it. So that's a big one. But Metro is in charge of this one. Like I say, they're going to have food trucks, festivities, and it's just going to be fun. If you want to be at the ribbon cutting at the Pomona station, it's literally 5 minutes from the Laverne station. So you can just go on down there for the festivities and then get on the train and run around the community between Arcadia, Monrovia, South Pasadena. But it's going to be open. So this has been this is the longest light rail train in the world. It's 48.5 miles. And they are also now, we are taking contracts for the extension from Pomona to Claremont. And we're working with the San Bernardino County Transit Authority. They decided not to do their extension from Claremont to the Montclair facility, but we're working on that now. But we will definitely be getting a contract for the extension from Pomona to Claremont, which will open it up.
And what's the fee for that day?
0.
No cost?
No
to
cost.
ride?
It'll be free for the entire weekend. Yeah,
Great.
so you can just cruise around all you want. So, and then after that, I think it's like $1 something, $1.50 or $1.75. So it's extremely reasonable. So I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but yeah. Anyway, also this last weekend we had the Laverne Girls Softball Association opening. It started at like 8:30 with our wonderful fire explorers, and they had a pancake breakfast for people. It was free. And so there's tons of teams, tons of games. So Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Cash and Councilmember Johnson and I were there, and just seeing all the girls and all the stuff and the families it's just wonderful. That's what our city's all about, our kids and all the fun we have. So it started off a great season, and it's doing well. So Councilmember Johnson.
This is important. If you live in an area in my district, District 1, and your home was built in the 30s, it's probably not bolted to a foundation. And the California Earthquake Authority has a program going on right now where they will pay up to a $3,000 amount to brace your home and bolt it to a concrete foundation if a concrete foundation exists. That generally will pay the total price to have your home bolted down. And that's a big deal when an earthquake hits. So just throwing it out there. I had it done, and it's actually opened up this year for the first time for rental properties. California Earthquake Authority.
Very good. Good information. Mayor Pro Tem Cash. No, we covered you. Okay. Thank you. With that, we're going to do something. We're going to move to public comment because we have a lot of, obviously, police officers in the room and family members concerned about the Laverne Department and their pay and the negotiations. So I got a little something to say here real quick, and then we'll open up for public comment. I know we have a couple cards here from some of the POA Association. And basically, ongoing negotiations with Laverne Police Officers Association is very important to all of us up here. We do really appreciate what our officers do in all of our departments in the city. Let me tell everyone here, and what I believe the entire community knows and understands, the city of Laverne loves our police department, like I said. We greatly respect our officers and all the staff of the police department. Negotiations are when two parties come together to discuss items of importance to them in a good faith manner that ultimately result in a fair and sustainable agreement. Sometimes it takes longer, as we know from the signs here. If you participated in our most recent strategic planning session or attended a budget study session, you realize that the city is facing long-term fiscal issues. It's within the context that we are attempting to work with the POA. I understand that there's some information out there that our officers are not getting paid. They are getting paid. The memorandum of understanding with the POA is still in effect. It has just not been renegotiated with the new terms. And the difference is not a lack of respect. It's about making sure that our officers and all of our employees have a fair and sustainable compensation package for the next several years. I would like to get a new contract, and I really do want to get a contract. We all want a contract that's fair and equitable. And we are working on that, and we just had a session on it just right before this one. And the memorandum of understanding with the PO is still in effect, like I said. I would like to get a new contract, and I understand that there was a good lunch meeting last week with hopefully is getting us closer. So please know that our officers are highly respected. Our community loves them, and we are greatly appreciated that they all do. And I personally, we are going to meet with them, with two of us, with the POA here very shortly, and figure out how we can come to a resolution with our management to get this thing done. It's unnerving for myself, but at the end of the day, we have to also be fiscal with our community because we have different departments that require us to be fiscally responsible. But at the end of the day, I truly do love our police department, as we all do, and it's very important, but we also have to be stewards of our community. With that, I'm going to bring up President of the POA, which is Andrew McKinley. Please come up.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm here tonight as the president of the Laverne Police Officers Association and as someone who deeply believes in this department, the city, and its future. You'll notice many of our citizens here tonight, they support their police officers. Our social media posts have shown how much the community appreciates our work, and we're grateful for that. Their support keeps our officers motivated, even as we push through long hours and short staffing. The issue here tonight is there's been no real negotiations. But while our officers keep showing up for the city has not shown up for them at the bargaining table. We're entering our third month without a contract, and instead of real discussions, we've only received last and final offers. With little movement, no regard to give and take, and no willingness to sit down and really collaborate. What does this do? How does this impact us? Officers are exhausted from constant overtime. Promotions are stalled to save money. Talented officers are leaving for nearby cities with better pay, benefits, and schedules. We are one of the lowest paid in our comparison cities, which is 8% below median. That's the middle. That's average. Just recently, there was a comment made that Laverne is a safe city. It's not Compton. You should be lucky to work here. Laverne is a safe city, but it's not safe by accident. It's safe because of the men and women standing behind me who patrol the streets day and night, who sacrifice time with their families, run towards danger so others don't have to. This safety isn't earned. It's inherited. It's not inherited. The city's not accounting for future growth in our contract. The Gold Line will bring more homeless and transit issues. The proposed 1,000-unit project is going to bring 3,000 plus residents and vehicles. This means more calls for service, more shifts, more complexity, especially drug-related, mental health, and crime incidents. These incidents must be handled correctly to reduce injuries, ensure safety, and limit liability to the city. Yet none of this is reflected in a last and final offer. There's risk for underpaying our officers. Bottom tier pay equals bottom tier applicants. Right now we have highly trained, dedicated professionals. Losing them is going to cost the city far more in training, turnover, lawsuits, and the loss of public trust. We must protect our citizens, our city, our officers, and everyone we come in contact with, because bottom tier is not the way to go. They ask, right now the city, we believe, is trying to budget a 3-year contract in 1 year, factoring in future mental health, medical costs that haven't existed yet. That shows disrespect to the hardworking officers of Laverne. The truth is, in our first year, we're only about $250,000 off, but we're willing to sit down and negotiate it to close that gap. But what the city is proposing is a shell game, shifting education incentives into base pay. On paper, it looks great. It looks like we're getting a huge raise. But in reality, it's costing officers approximately $7,000 to $9,000 a year, on top of being one of the lowest paid. If you look at the financials that the city puts on their website for that last quarter, there's $40 million available. And we're asking for $250,000 to help us out. Year 2 and 3 can be handled by the chief of police during normal budgeting process. And these years shouldn't be an excuse to block a deal getting done. The city just revised its mission statement. The city of Laverne strives to maintain a full range of efficient municipal services while promoting financial stability and accountability. The city is driven by our strong history of community, inclusiveness, and innovation, with an appreciation of city employees at the core of our service delivery. Right now, you're not living up to that mission statement. It's time to show that appreciation, not just with words, but with actions. We want to reach a deal. We believe a deal is possible. Our officers love this city, and we're committed to staying, but we need a reason to stay. So tonight I'm asking you, not as numbers on a spreadsheet, but as people, look at our officers behind us and their families, to see the human cost of inaction. We're ready to come to the table, and we've been sitting at the table. We just need the city to meet us there. Our officers have never turned their backs on the city. Please don't turn your backs on them. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Andrew. We're going to basically just keep this public comment to this item right now, just on this, and we're going to open up public comment at the end. So, George Ramirez.
I'm George Ramirez. My wife Sarah and I have lived in Laverne since 1999. We've owned 3 homes here in Laverne. Why? Because we love the city. It's a beautiful foothill community. And like Andrew said, crime has increased since we've moved here. Crime, vagrancy, but these officers have done so much with and without a contract to keep most of that at bay. While you guys go home, put your heads on your pillow with a smirk on your face, thinking you don't have to come to an agreement with these guys. Well, that's not fair. And I'm here just kind of to reiterate what Andrew said. You have to do something for these police officers. They're tired, they're overworked, and that puts the community at risk, even more so with limited resources that they have. But they've done a great job. So I'm here to tell you and put you on notice, as every citizen in the city of Laverne should put you on notice, that if we don't have a contract, then what we should do as citizens, if we become victims of crime in the city of Laverne starting tonight, then we should sue the city for not keeping us safe. The number one responsibility of every leader of any town, community, township, city, county, state is the security and well-being of their citizens. Without safety, people don't want to shop, live, work, go to school. That's the number one responsibility. And I think you're shirking that responsibility. So if you think the contract is too expensive, think of what the lawsuits will do to this community. Okay? I just want you to think about that. I love this city, and I want to see it protected. And as Andrew said, the lack of contract have cost laterals to go somewhere else. It fails recruitment. If you don't give them a contract tonight or soon, then all of you should resign for failing your number one responsibility to the city of Laverne, and that's keeping its people safe. Thank you for your time and consideration on this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Brad Bailey. Brad Bailey.
Can you all hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, all right. Good evening. My name is Brad Bailey. I am a corporal with the Laverne Police Department, and I've been with Laverne for 8 years and 1 day. I currently am assigned to a task force as a detective with the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department in a plainclothes detective capacity. I've been doing that for over 2 years. I've gained a lot of experience during this assignment. I'm also a SWAT operator on our regional SWAT team called FSET. Stands for the Foothills Special Enforcement Team. I've been an operator with the SWAT team for over 5 years, and you can imagine the kind of tactical knowledge and experience I've gained from being part of such a respected unit. Additionally, I have over 5 years experience patrolling this great city. After graduating high school, I wanted to be a firefighter. I began taking fire science classes until I realized I didn't want to care for people in a medical capacity. So I turned to law enforcement, and I knew this was the career that was meant for me. What surprised me, though, was just how many medical aid calls I would respond to as a police officer. When a critical medical call comes into dispatch, police officers are often first, feeding the fire department because we're already out there patrolling the neighborhoods. In my 5 years on patrol, I have performed CPR numerous times, including on a 4-year-old drowning victim. I was first on scene. I heard the screams of the family as I ran into the house. I found the little boy soaking wet on the living room floor. I performed CPR for about 2 minutes before the fire department arrived. They scooped him up and rushed him to the hospital. I was left standing there, covered in vomit, still processing the scene and investigating what had happened. The boy didn't make it. He was pronounced later. Little over a year ago, I was first on scene to a bad traffic collision at 2 a.m. The passenger side of the car had been sliced off of it or a block of cheese. The driver was slumped over, a bloody face and head. His right hand was barely attached. I comforted him. I told him, "Hey, buddy, I'm here. I'm going to help you. Everything's going to be okay." The engine started to catch on fire. I pulled him from the car. With my partners, we dragged him about 25 feet away. I applied a tourniquet to his arm and watched him gasp his last breaths. I began CPR as the car exploded behind us. My partner even stood between me and the exploding car in case debris flew toward us. Paramedics arrived, but again I watched as the man was pronounced. I share this because when our fire department had contract issues, the city council stood behind them. You gave them a contract that showed support. Why then won't you have our backs? Why won't you fight for us? I have to live with these experiences. My brothers and sisters behind me live with their own tragedies, hardships, and trauma. What you, the city council, will have to live with and be remembered for is the systematic defunding of the Laverne Police Department. It begins with taking away medical coverage for our families, eliminating education pay. It continues with officers laddering out to agencies that offer better benefits. And it ends with citizens of Laverne being policed by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies instead of your own officers. I've had the privilege of working with many agencies and many officers. I can tell you without hesitation, your Laverne police officers are the cream of the crop. the upper class of this profession, and this community deserves nothing less. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak on this, public comment on this item? Mr. Bowen.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I moved here in 1983. I didn't know anything about Laverne. Grew up in Arcadia. Foothill Boulevard ended. Got off the freeway, found a house, moved my family here. After I moved here, I asked somebody, I said, tell me about the Laverne police. He said, don't mess with the Laverne police. And I said, great. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I didn't want to interact with them. I don't want to know them personally. I just want them to keep us safe. The fact is, you haven't negotiated. Negotiation is when you present options. You give the other side a chance to present their options. From what I understand, is they've been given ultimatums. When the fire guys got it, he gave them a great deal. A few years ago, we raised the tax by 0.75 cents. And for those of us that were here, it was based on keeping Laverne safe. Since that time, if I remember right, we've raised over $15 million from that tax. Approximately $5 million a year. Last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever, COVID, the feds gave us $15 million, didn't they? $7.5 million twice. So that's approximately $30 million in the last 5 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. I see your faces. But where's that money? Let's say they only gave us $7.5 million, not 30, and we raised 15. That's $22.5 million. Where's that money? They're asking for $250,000 out of a $100 million budget. We lost a public works head of that department. We hired a new one with a huge bump in salary. And we were all told, well, that's what it takes to get quality people. I see the quality of our police force, but we don't seem to treat them with the same regard. So find $250,000. You have it. We need it, and we need it now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. Anita.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I share the sentiments with Mr. Bowen. When you are in a negotiation, you don't just look at the budget of that department. You examine every line item in your budget. And as he spoke of a public works director's salary being increased, which, by the way, he does not have an engineering degree, so that I have a problem with. If you're going to pay somebody the median salary, it needs to commensurate with the requirements, which should include a degree. But more so, too many times this council has renegotiated contracts for outside services such as waste management when we still had 2.5 years left on their contract. Why are we doing that? Mr. Domer, you know I'm a fan, but his contract was not up. He renegotiated and got a higher salary as well. Why are we renegotiating contracts that are not at the end of their terms? That is money that could be used towards this department's salary gap, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. So I beg of you, I know it's more work for Christy. I love Christy, but the finance department needs to find that money somewhere and make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beauchamp. One more. You have two? Yes. And then you're next. and then Mr. Gabaldon.
Hello, my name is Angela Donahue. I'm a police psychologist, and I have been for 30 years. And I really appreciate everything that you guys do. I've been a resident of Laverne for 26 years. I'm also contracted with a number of agencies, including the LA County Sheriffs. And everything that I've heard here today, everything on this paper, I can assure you applies to the Sheriff's Department as well. I have many patients from the department, and all I hear about is how tired they are, how they're stretched thin, how they're having all kinds of issues. And if we think that they can take on the responsibilities of another city, I would think twice about extending their resources to ours when we already have an incredible city with well-trained officers who we need to keep. So I just kind of came into this recently. I don't know all of the details, but from what I'm hearing, I would implore all of you to please, please give the men and women of our department the support that they need on behalf of all of the citizens of Laverne.
Thank you. We're going to keep these 2-3 minutes, please. We have other business to attend to.
Yes.
And I think if it's the same point that we're talking about right now, we understand, but let's not reiterate what we've already talked about already, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, my name is Virginia Beltran. My family's been here since the mid-1800s. It's a beautiful city. I want to say that our police department is well. They've been keeping the order here. With the line opening up, there's going to be a lot of riffraffs coming through here. I believe that I would most definitely encourage people to support them, support their increase in pay, and keep our streets safe, because we're going to get some real dangerous people coming this Friday when that line opens up. And we don't want any problems like our nearby cities are dealing with on a daily. So I support them, and I hope that everybody here is also in support of our police department. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gabaldon.
Good evening. I think my primary point is probably the same as everybody else's, but I caution the council and obviously the hard work that's going in negotiation of this, whatever that word means today, is do not be penny wise and pound foolish. The one big difference between the police department and everybody else that serves this community, which we all appreciate and enjoy their service to the community, is that they put themselves directly in harm's way, not knowing where it's coming from every single day, every single minute. My dad was a 30-year veteran of LAPD. I have many family members that are in law enforcement, and the stories they come home with, they're things that you don't want to have to think about, but they have to think about it, and they have to be on guard 24/7. And when they go home in these days and times, they're not everybody's best buddy. So I encourage this council to find $250,000, if that's all it really is, in all the ways that we facilitate services in the city, as opposed to, not seeing the forest through the trees in this regard. So go for it, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Gabaldon. We're going to close public comment. My last comment will be that we will be getting together immediately with the POA. 2 council members, myself and Councilmember Crosby, if I'm not mistaken, immediately. And we will move forward and hopefully resolve this issue as quickly as we can. And we understand, we really appreciate the police force as we do all of our departments, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Thank you all tonight for being here. I do appreciate it very much. Yeah, that would be the whole POA board. When we do meet, that would be the whole POA board, please. Thank you all. Okay, now we move on to consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the city council, member of the audience requests separate discussion and just wants to make a statement on the items. Council, are there any requests to pull an item?
No, Mayor, I have not.
City Manager Ken Domer, has there anybody pulled any of the items?
No one pulled anything from the agenda.
Okay. Then, with that, do I have a motion to accept the consent calendar?
So move.
Second. Vote, please.
The item was moved by Johnson, seconded by Lau, was approved 4-0 with Crosby being absent.
Thank you. No public hearings tonight. There are two items on the discussion calendar. The first item, the update and direction regarding appointments to the City Council Ad Hoc Subcommittee on the Regional Fire and Emergency Medical Services. Mr. Domer, I would say that we're probably going to bring up our complete staff, which would be Chief Nigg, Deputy Chief Coatney. Is that correct?
Sure, everybody will be available, and we also have consultant here with us. I'm going to start this off real quick. Thank you, mayors, member of council. City of Pomona has been served by the LA County Fire since 1994. Due to rapidly rising costs, the City of Pomona and the LA County Fire have been in negotiations. However, LA County Fire issued Pomona a 365-day termination notice on April 16th, 2025. In response, on July 7th, 2025, the Pomona City Council directed its city manager to evaluate three options for providing future fire services. Those options were remaining under contract with LA County Fire, reestablishing a standalone City of Pomona Fire Department, and exploring a new collaborative and financially sustainable regional fire and EMS model. As you know, the Laverne Fire Department works closely with our neighboring cities through mutual and automatic aid agreements, including Pomona, and was approached to discuss the feasibility of a regional model. Pomona has engaged industry experts, emergency services advisors, one of them's in the crowd today, ESA, to evaluate its options, and LVFD leadership has participated in these discussions. While this action does not commit either city to any specific path, the information preliminary developed by ESA suggested that a localized regional model could potentially deliver improved services and cost efficiencies that benefit both Pomona and Laverne. Councilmember Crosby is not here tonight, but in speaking with him, he believes that the council should take a vote to first determine if there is sufficient interest or willingness by the council to even form a regional fire and emergency medical services district. This step would not represent a final decision, of course, but would establish whether the council as a whole is open to further exploration of the idea and would ensure clarity and transparency before additional time and resources are invested into this process. Fire Chief Nigg and I are supportive of that step at this time, and we believe that there is merit in exploring that such a district, what such a district could mean to the city and to the residents of Laverne, much as the city explored contracting with the county several years ago. Accordingly, after such a vote is taken, if there's interest in exploring an alternative regional process further, that proposed action is for the City Council to appoint an ad hoc City Council subcommittee to meet and exchange information with a parallel ad hoc subcommittee from Pomona. That's if they form it, because they are meeting tonight on the same issue. These policy-level discussions would inform both councils about the potential for regional collaboration on fire and EMS services and allow respective staff to analyze all fiscal, administrative, and operational issues related to such a formation. Updates will be provided at upcoming meetings, and any further actions or agreements will return to the City Council for discussion, public input, and decision-making. With that, Fire Chief Nigg, do you have further items to add to this?
No, well, I'll keep comments brief. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I'm here before you tonight to really dovetail off of City Manager Domer's comments as they relate to why we're in this process or why we're in this conversation. With me tonight is our Operations Chief, Deputy Chief Brandon Coatney, as well as Bill Adams, Consultant for Emergency Service Advisors, ESA, who have been contracted by the City of Pomona to dive deep into the analysis of their options before them for their fire services moving forward. When I came to you in 2021, or when you appointed me as your fire chief, you tasked me out with fixing much of the problems that Laverne Fire was facing at the time and ultimately providing you with a high-performing, sustainable fire agency moving forward. I believe we've done that. I'm very proud of that. Our department is very proud of that. Our association and our people who run the calls every day are very proud of that. As such, we are operating in a space that we're very proud of. It's consistent, it's sustainable, it's efficient, and we meet or exceed much of the performance measurement standards that are out there to date. With that, we are also the sole local fire agency over here on the east end, with the exception of West Covina, whereas all the cities around us are contract agencies, or otherwise a structural fire run city with LA County Fire. So to City Manager Domer's point, we have very effective and very comprehensive mutual and auto aid agreements with County Fire. There's equitable sharing of resources between our city and their cities around us. And so ultimately, when the city of Pomona was presented, as they've navigated the negotiations with LA County Fire and ultimately arrived at a point where they are unable to arrive at a sustainable agreement between the two of them, naturally they had to look at options that were out there. The city manager over there, Dr. Anita Scott, has reached out to a number of different agencies out there seeking alternative options. And ultimately, at this point, via the work that ESA has done and ultimately the analysis the city of Pomona has done, it appears that there is a lot of potential operational and financial benefit as it relates to long-term sustainability for a smaller regional option to be considered or looked into deeper moving forward. As you know, when I came here, we measured Laverne Fire, keeping Laverne Fire in the city and investing in our department here versus contracting out with LA County Fire at the time. I want to be clear that this is a very different conversation because it is a different deployment model, it is a different regional approach. And for those reasons, I am supportive of moving forward and continuing these conversations to at least continue the deep dive or the analysis as it relates to the benefits that the city of Laverne would potentially realize through a regional relationship with our neighboring city to the east of us. All that said, LA County Fire is a great fire department. They do great things all throughout this county and for the city of Pomona. The reality is this is a business decision that the city of Pomona is facing, and really that presents an opportunity for us, and so that's why we're here. Through this last budget process, it was very clear that efficiencies need to be realized and consistently analyzed for our long-term financial sustainability as a city. And it was directed by at least one of you, if not several of you, to think outside the box. And so Laverne Fire is here doing that right now in an innovative fashion. And if it is the political will and it makes logistical and operational sense to continue down this path, then so be it. I believe that it's very important to have the voices, the appropriate voices in this process, hence the request for an ad hoc committee to be formed so that there are voices from not only this council, but then the council over in Pomona to express concerns, ask the hard questions, and have ownership in whatever the future may hold. With that, I'm available for questions, as is my counterparts over here. Okay.
I just want to say thank you, Chief. Hold on. I just want to say thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping us informed. Thank you for keeping the community informed. And with your leadership, all good things happen.
And congratulations on your new baby.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
New baby. With that, we're going to, just a precursor to going to public comment, all of the council members have met with the agency that's that's working with Pomona, as he had mentioned. So we're all well versed on how, and we voiced our concerns also. And so we'll open up public comment, and we'll come back on the dais. And so we'll open up public comment. Anybody wish to speak on this item? Ms. Beauchamp.
As a member of the recent ad hoc water sewer committee, I see how slow things get accomplished in an ad hoc committee, mainly because of people's schedules. But if they've already been given notice by county, it's already been 5 months since then, and you want to form this committee, it's going to be that much closer to the actual deadline of their 1 year end of contract. So I see a lot of times things get rushed towards the end. In like the ad hoc water, we were supposed to have that done so that our rates would go up July 1. Now we're not doing it till January, and we're scrambling. I would hate to see that happen with that program as well. Secondly, you've been privy to that information, unfortunately for us. So we need to know as residents, how is that going to affect our services if we create this? They're a much larger city, much larger population, much lower socioeconomic, higher needs in medical services. What kind of strain will that put on our department when we need them here for that same thing in terms of elderly? Most of the calls are medical. So, I mean, there's a lot of questions that I think residents need answers to before they could say, yes, this is a good idea, or no, it's not. So I don't know if in that ad hoc, would there be open meetings? Would there be a quarterly report or what have you to provide that information to the residents? That I would ask if it is formed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beauchamp. Good comments. Anyone else wish to comment on this item? Yes, sir.
My name is Tim Blockinger. I came to watch my daughter Andrea make a presentation. I didn't really know anything about fire potential changes. I've been in Laverne since '94. We've all heard about how the citizens really appreciate and have a lot of respect for the services that the city provides. And there's a lot of pride in the fact that we are our own self-sufficient city. So if there's a potential to move to a not city-controlled fire department where we have more of a direct oversight, I would be concerned about how Pomona, 5 times our size, if we join with them, how do we maintain the small city governance and control that we currently have? So I would be asking that the city council makes, as was said, information available to us so we can see how this is going to be of an economic boom to Laverne, but also how we will not be potentially saving money, but also potentially losing some service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else wish to speak on this item? With that, we'll close public comment and bring it back to the dais. Great comments, because that's exactly what we all talked about when we first met with the consultant, was the fact that, first of all, Laverne stays Laverne as far as core. Our services only get better. Pomona is considerably larger. I think it's 160,000+ people in Pomona. But we do trust Chief Nig in the fact that this is an opportunity to create a fire service, another fire agency, if that works. But there's checks and balances along the way. Any information we have is going to come to the community, especially the kind of service, what we're doing financially. Right now, we have not put out any money except for Chief Nig's time and Deputy Coatney. It's all on Pomona. Pomona's doing the same thing tonight. So we're doing this tonight just to prepare to say, okay, what's the next step? And Ms. Beauchamp, you brought up a very good point, the fact that they are under the gun. If they do this, they have to create an entire agency because they will be removing the agency from LA County and they will be having to put their own agency in place. So it's obviously a financial situation for them too. But for us, I think we will be making money on it, obviously. It's good for our community. It's good for our services. It's good for our people. And a lot of the younger people for the fire agency from Pomona, because Pomona, let's face it, it's a bigger community. It brings nuances that we don't have here, and that runs the gamut. But we have no financial. If anything happens, Mr. Domer's watching it. Chief Nig is watching it. The ad hoc committee, we formed that. It's really to get information to find out where they're at, what they're doing. And there's a process. It has to go through LAFCO. It's got to go through this whole process of having to create a fire agency. And it's not going to happen overnight by any stretch of the imagination. I know I'm speaking ahead of guys, but we've all met with them. I like I say, I entrust Chief Nig. I know that Councilmember Crosby, like all of us, have a concern about the financial drain on us. We can't do that. It has to be in addition to us to better our services. But also, a fire agency has a lot more control of the neighborhoods, better responses, along with our mutual aid and automatic aid from LA County, which is going to be tremendous, and we've already experienced that. Our little fires that we've had on our homes have been put out immediately because of our automatic aid. But I think it's just the opportunity for us to become even a larger fire agency along with the city, and then down the road it might even expand to other communities, because LA County is a huge entity, and the cost increases are substantial. 36% increase. That's a lot of money, and so they're under they're under duress right now, as they have to make a decision. But I think that this is, myself personally, I think this is a good direction as long as we have checks and balances, that our community never suffers from that. Our services are the same or better than they've always been. And I think that's the most important thing. And that was the big sounding thing for all of us, is how's that going to affect our services? What kind of benefits are we going to have? And guys, you guys talk. I started anyway.
I think this has to be considered an opportunity for Laverne for us to get involved in. It has to improve our services in some way and lower our costs for this to be a viable thing for us to even be considering. And until we get more information, we can't make that decision. So we need, to not just throw this opportunity away, but we need to figure out what's in it for us, because we surely don't want to have reduced services in Laverne. I mean, I feel that we have about the best medical response system in the entire valley. And I appreciate what the fire department has done within my own family, getting members to the hospital in a timely manner. And I don't want to give that type of service up by any means for us in Laverne. But I think that model that we have could also help Pomona, but they would have to pay for that. I mean, we're not just going to give our model away. We have to negotiate with them if it even makes sense. And we're not there yet, but we do need to create the mechanism for us to find out, can we move forward with this or should we not? And I think that's where we are right now.
Well, I must say also that the fact that we have a chief in place that understands the complexity. He's been at multiple agencies, Mr. Coatney, Deputy Chief Coatney also, that they understand how this works. They've been at big agencies where how this can happen and how this can work. But like Councilmember Johnson said, it has to benefit Laverne. But it also, let's get them. Wendy.
So I think a lot of the comments that were shared by the residents were ones that were echoed, at least in my communication with Chief Nig and with ESA and others, because I think, it may seem great, but we don't know yet. And that's my biggest concern, that we don't have the information or the particulars. So I know that my question was, does this formation of an ad hoc subcommittee commit us to anything? Because I don't want to commit us to something just because someone else is under the gun, right? Because we have what we have here. We are getting the services that we need. We have exemplary services, and I don't ever want it to have an adverse effect on our community because we're helping out another community. And so I think that is a lot of what this council has felt too. And so I think that by moving forward with in my mind, moving forward with the ad hoc subcommittee has to be an information gathering endeavor and investigation where we're not going in with rose-colored glasses and we're asking tough questions about, who gets control, who gets to make decisions, how are those decisions made, what does that look like? And those details are going to be important to our residents because this is going to be something new and different that has not happened here before. And so I think that is going to be imperative to moving this along. I think, if I'm not mistaken, so please correct me if I'm wrong, City Manager Domer or Chief Nig, I thought that there was maybe a little bit more time that was negotiated with Pomona, or Pomona negotiated with LA County, so it's not so, because I hear you. I think it's herding cats, getting schedules especially when you get to the end of the year when the holidays start hitting and everybody's doing a million things. So I think if we could get some response to that timeline issue, because I think that is crucial. I don't want to move without the information, and I don't want to feel rushed by not having the information first.
No, that is true. So we're not part of those negotiations that are between the county and Pomona, but what we understand is that there has been discussions about extension. So the county originally gave a year, so it'd be April of 2026. But then there's now a year and then another 6 months, so another 2 years.
I don't believe any of that's been formalized, but that was some of the last discussion. We've been very clear, effectively, me as the subject matter expert, fire subject matter expert, that's just simply not enough time. If this is something that we're looking at doing, it's going to be done right, comprehensively per the industry standard and in any other performance measurement tool that the fire service uses in California. And we can't do that in a year. So from the very start, the conversation has been very focused on ensuring that it was an appropriate timeline so that it wasn't rushed and it wasn't done improperly. And that includes the formation of whatever governance model will be necessary to see this through. And part of that conversation is something that is sustainable with automatic funding mechanisms so that it's not a fee-for-service type structure, et cetera.
I think the timeline was mistaken. It was all of 4 years to get it up and running. Is that correct? About 4 years to get it up and running?
Well, at this point...
I mean, just to get it...
At this point, the estimation, I think in a perfect world, would be 3 years. However, a year's not enough. 3 years is perfect. Again, there are so many moving parts to all of this. And to go back to a few of your comments at this point, there are a lot of details. There are so many layers and so many dynamics to all of this. Tonight's conversation is focused on just the general interest to continue those conversations. And so when the ad hoc committee is in fact formed, these questions can be asked. All the meanwhile, behind the scenes, the consultant, myself, my staff, will be doing the deep dive. If you'll remember back in 2021, this department employed a standards cover. And that was that deep dive into our data, our analytics, the science behind our deployment and why it needs to be what it is today. And that's effectively what would have to happen here as well, right? If you want to, put it in very simple terms, you're effectively going from a population of 30,000. Now you're adding the 120,000 that's over there in Pomona, 160,000 over there in Pomona, right?
And now you're looking at
190,000. You're looking at the totality of that population, the sheer square mileage of the city, the target hazards in the city, and you're really doing that to ensure that you have the appropriate number of stations, the appropriate staffing, the appropriate skill levels, all of those things that go into providing a sufficient fire department to meet what that demand is. And so to go back to the question that was posed about residents losing services, that's simply just not going to happen. If anything, it will be an expanded fire department that is, yes, now serving a larger geographic area, but it will also be deployed appropriately to deal with that. And again, not going to get into those analytics right now because we're just simply not there yet.
We also don't know what their vote is tonight.
There's that as well, right? And this ad hoc committee isn't going to even be a thing if it's not the same desire as
if they don't agree to it tonight.
Side.
We don't move forward. So.
And on one other note, I do want to mention it's very important that our association has buy-in on this as well, right? Our people are who do what we do in the fire service very proudly. And from day one, they have been very interested and eager about learning more, and at this point are very supportive of moving forward, at least in these discussions at this point as well.
I mean, you guys have said it all correctly. We'll take step by step. We really appreciate your leadership and Deputy Chief and
Mr. Bill Adams is a
the Marine, right?
expert. Yes.
Semper Fi Marine. Yeah, Colonel of 15 contingency plans. I never forgot that. Really appreciate it. Step by step, and we'll take it. And we'll have our community engaged, and I look forward to it. I really believe that we'll just see what happens. God's plan. We'll take.
We're not going to do. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my throat tonight. We're not going to do anything that's going to affect our services to our residents. Period, and financially put us into a very precarious situation. They're a big city, but if we can do it, we've got the right chief in, we've got the right staff in to do this, and our city manager. So my suggestion would be, Mr. Crosby had brought it up to Mr. Domer, that before we vote on an ad hoc, we vote on us to say, we're invested in this as council. We want to see this follow through before we do an ad hoc, to say, okay, we're vested, but we're going to make sure that every step of the way we're involved, the residents are involved, to make sure that this is a good thing for us, which I think it is. But I think we need to do basically a pardon? Yeah, just a vote to make sure that we're all in, and when we're all in, then we can do our ad hoc. So would it be a motion? I think we do consensus. I don't know if we need to do a motion. Consensus with each council member and Mayor Pro Tem, if we're all invested, I think we vote, correct? And so with that, I think we should do a vote up on the board. So all those in favor of moving forward? Okay.
The vote is 3-1 with Johnson dissenting.
Okay.
And Crosby being absent.
Now we'll work on the ad hoc committee. So I would personally like to be on the ad hoc committee because I have some relationship with the fire department and knowing how they operate. I do have relationships with Pomona too, with the city mayor and also staff, and I think it's important to have that relationship to find out what's really going to work here, what's not going to work. So that would be mine to be on that. Who else would like to be on the ad hoc committee?
Mayor, if I may, I'd like to be a part of that ad hoc committee moving forward. It's something actually I was thinking about a couple of years back, something that I'd like to see us grow and grow in a positive direction. To be in support of our community, be in support of our staff, and looking forward for the way ahead for our city. Best course of action.
Councilmember Lau.
I don't have a problem with either of you serving on this committee, but I would say, I think based on at least, and I don't want to speak for Councilmember Johnson, but if he's not in, I don't want to say that you're not in support. Actually. But never mind. Well, then can I?
Love you, Steve. I guess that's what happens when it's your birthday.
When
and
it's
you
your
get older,
birthday,
huh?
yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, so you were a yes vote, Mr. Johnson.
I meant to,
It should have been 4-0. But yeah, that's fine. But just for the record, could we just make it clear?
That's fine.
But my point would be is that I don't want us to go into this with rose-colored glasses, and I don't want us going in there thinking, "Wow, this is great. Everything looks good on paper." I need you all to ask really tough questions of Pomona, of LA County Fire, of the people who are being affected, and I think you will. But I just want to reiterate that because I think the residents are going to want that because they're going to be concerned, and so I think if we got to be the person in the room being a little bit contrarian.
So what we're saying is we need an attorney in there with us. Is that what we're saying?
I'm
I'm not opposed to that. So
Make it 3.
I love all you guys, but I do like an attorney in the room with me, and she's not shy. I mean,
I don't want to. I don't want to take
nothing
up.
against you, Cash, but you know what? I have semi-rose-colored glasses. She has dark glasses, and she comes in with guns a-blaring. So I would personally support Wendy Lau as the secondary ad hoc. I think we've worked long enough now to know that she'll ask something that I didn't know about, and I'll ask something she didn't know about, and we'll look at them and go, hey, is this really true? And I think you guys need honesty on your side to say, hey, when this thing goes south, we go south, and we just leave it alone. But if it goes great, then at least we'll be honest about it. So if you guys aren't opposed to that, I think that would be our ad hoc.
And that would be a formal vote.
Okay.
Steve, left is yes, right is no.
So need a motion and a second.
I'll second it.
There's a motion to select Mayor Tim Hepburn, Councilmember Wendy Lau on the ad hoc committee for the possible creation of the fire authority for Pomona and Laverne. Is that correct? You like that? Regional Fire Service. There we go. Vote, please. First is a, and then we have a second. Johnson, vote, please.
Motion made by Cashel Fajita, seconded by Johnson. Approved 4-0 with Crosby being absent. The ad hoc will be Councilmember Lau and Mayor Hepburn.
Okay. And there. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Yeah, go. We're going to re-adjourn the meeting 8:22 p.m. If we could all take our seats. Next discussion item is the appointment of resident commission members to city advisory commissions and committees, Planning Commission, Finance Commission, Parks and Recreation Commission, Active Transportation and Infrastructure Commission, and the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. Mr. City Manager Domer, would you please provide the staff report to process for which tonight's vote will follow?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
So, yes. As you know, we reorganized the city council committees. We had a application period that ended on 5 p.m. on August 28th, so it was open for about 4 weeks seeking appointments. This is the first of a new system because we're going by district elections now that the full council is elected by districts. So the terms are being reset, and they will go actually with the council member in that district. So there are 3 of you that are up for election in November 2026. If you choose not to, or if something else happens, then when we go through the application process at that point, people can be retained, or there may be a new choice by whoever's in that seat. So what we did is you have had all of the applications. You reviewed those. You do not need to appoint somebody that is in your district. But if it works out, that's great. And one of the reasons that we did that is because we knew that there would probably be fluctuations. And in fact, that's true for Councilmember Crosby's district, where there was only 2 people from his district that put in for any of the positions. So because Mr. Crosby is not here, Councilmember Crosby, I have his selection. So when it comes around to that, what we did in trying to keep it random, we pulled names of commissions out of a hat. It was a hat. And so we went with the Active Transportation, the Finance Commission.
Finance, Parks and Recreation Commission,
Planning
Commission,
Parks
and
Rec.
Senior Advisory.
Yeah, and the Senior Advisory is not changed from how it used to be run. They provide a recommended slate, and the City Council, if they approve it, they approve the entire slate. So what is expected now is that, Mr. Mayor, you will lead it. Start off with the Active Transportation and Infrastructure Commission. And with that, we will start with Council District 1. Then we'll go to 2, 3, 4, 5. When we come to the Finance Commission, then we'll start with 2 and go 3, 4, 5. And with the Planning Commission, we'll start with 3. And we may have to form another committee just to make it so that everybody has a first choice, but we'll think about that next year. Sorry.
So basically, all this stuff you wrote for me to read, you just read it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you.
Well, you asked
That's
me
even easier, actually.
So, yeah, I'm trying to help you.
I'm
there,
fine
sir.
now, thank you.
I think if you guzzled that peach jam, that would help.
That probably would, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you know, they say you give a mouse a cookie, and he's going to want a piece of toast. And then, okay, so we're going to start with District 1 for the Active Transportation and Infrastructure Committee.
And that would be Tim Blockinger.
Okay. District number 2.
For Council Member Crosby, that appointee is Corey Halliburton.
Okay. And then District number 3.
That'll be Chantel Steiber.
Okay.
Come on down.
District number 4 would be me. That's going to be Doug Strange. Doug Strange. And District number 5.
Gregorio Andrade.
Okay. District transfer, go to the Finance Commission. We'll go the same. District number 1. Oh, district number 2.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
And for that, from Councilmember Crosby, the appointee would be Danita Boking.
District number 3.
We'll go with Danny Anabi with 2 N.
District number 4. Be me. That would be Jason Simison. District number 5.
Jamie Riley.
Jamie. District number 5. Huh? Oh, it's Jamie. I'm sorry. Did I miss district number 1? Yeah. Go. Get 'em. Okay, we'll go to Parks and Recreation Commission. We start with district number 3. Right? District Parks is next. Start with district number 3.
Salvatore De Grassi.
Okay. District number 4 would be Bill Aguirre. District number 5.
Gary Gonzalez.
District number 1. Yes, Parks. Hi. Did we do? You did. Rick, not 2.
Councilmember Crosby would like to appoint Mike Riggs.
Okay. We move to Planning Commission. So we went from district, we'll go to District 4 first, which would be me. That would be Matthew Ramos. District number 5.
Jeremy Conrad.
Good. District number 1. District number 2.
Councilmember Crosby would like to appoint Marlene Carney.
All right. And district number 3.
Kenny Chang.
Good. And that really, the Senior Advisory Committee, which is last, is pretty much everybody on that list is basically reapplied. Is that correct? Let's go through the names.
So, yeah, if you'd like, I can read the names that
I'll read the names.
are the recommendation. Okay.
The recommendations for the Senior Advisory Committee are George Borst, Betty Donovan, Jenny Jolly, Craig Kistler, Valerie Ortiz, Edward Paget, and Scott Snyder. Do we have any objections there? None? Take them all. So do we need a motion to accept all of the, so I would take a motion to accept all of the committee appointments, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Vote, please.
It was moved by Johnson, seconded by Lau, approved 4-0 with Councilman Crosby being absent.
And those individuals will be notified?
Correct, yeah. Starting tomorrow, we'll notify all individuals of the results.
You know, I did not open public comment on that. On that one. But if there's any public comment, I'm going to open up public comment if there's any public comment on this item. Sorry, we're doing reverse order. Thank you, Mr. Bowen. That's not a public comment. That's just a comment. We're going to close public comment. Thank you. With that, our vote stands. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Okay. There's no other business tonight, so we'll move on to public comments. It's the time set aside for anyone wishing to address the City Council on items not listed on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from engaging in discussion on any item not on the posted agenda. Your concerns may be referred to staff or placed for discussion at a later date. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. At this time, those wishing to speak, come to the podium. Mr. Bowen.
Good evening, Mayor, Council again. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Mayor for stepping up and saying he's going to get with the police, so there's some negotiation, get this thing forwarded and get it done. Just as a side note, I just heard, I got a blast that San Dimas High School had a gun on campus today. They shut the school down and actually found a gun on a student. So I hope it's true.
Hope it's not true.
I hope the report is accurate. It's a terrible situation, and it just makes me wonder about our schools. I hope the police can help our schools remain safe.
And just on your comment, I know we're not supposed to comment, but I'm going to anyway, on the police situation. We are all in the same boat here to solve this situation, not just me.
Right.
I just kind of spoke.
I just appreciate you stepping up, and let's get the
we
thing.
are very well concerned about it, all of us. So, thank you.
But hope this whole thing about guns on campus and anywhere. And lastly, I just want to say thank you again for the city for lowering the flags in honor of Charlie Kirk. Regardless of your politics, for something like that to happen to anybody is just incredible, and it saddens me. I don't know why I took this so hard, but it's amazing. And I watched some of the things the other day on TV, and I just want to repeat two verses of I heard a crowd of thousands singing Amazing Grace, and the last thing you want me to do is sing. But I just want two verses. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wench like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. And the fifth verse, yea, when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. God bless Charlie Kirk. God bless his family. God bless the USA.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak? Mr. Gabaldon.
Thank you. I too want to thank the city and whoever it was that allowed for our flag to be at half-staff. I noticed that the school, or Bonita in particular, did not have it at half-mast, so I suspect from that our school district that serves our students and the youth of our community did not acknowledge and respect what really took place. And that's pretty much what got me here tonight. 5 years ago was a horrible day in this nation and in the world for something that transpired. But seems like crickets for what happened to Charlie Kirk. So I wanted to come here tonight to express my deep concern over what transpired last week, where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. At the age of only 31, younger than my daughter and older than my son, he was a husband to his wife and a father to two young children. The whole family has now lost their husband and their father. There are many across this community, this nation, and abroad who followed and knew Charlie Kirk to be a man of God, a Christian, deeply spiritual, highly intellectual, and smarter than most of us, using words to challenge people in civil debate over ideas. Something most of us would hope for in our children and our fellow community, folks around us. His crime was not dealing drugs, stealing, beating his wife, terrorizing people on a train, or killing anybody. His crime that he scared godless people who had been brainwashed in their spaces by those who choose not to think for themselves or have the limited capacity to see the middle on anything. Those who have voluntarily followed along with the hateful, vile, hyperbolic lies spread about him on TV, social media that our kids live in, by TikTok influencers, and mostly politicians, some who serve us in the city, who through their use of irresponsible, coordinated, strategic, generalized, and vile descriptors when calling him and their political opponents and the people who they represent, people like me, a lot of people in this room, Nazis, fascists, deplorables, existential threats, etc. What's that all about? Those words were traditionally reserved for the worst of humanity. Now they're spewed out as unchecked hate signals with no regard for risks to the others and how weaker minds among us might action them. That's what happened this last week, is because people are irresponsible in their use of words and how it is that they think they're really impacting their community or serving their righteousness. There's somebody out there who needs help who did what that person did. Unless you're blind, deaf, or worse, this has been in full view of anyone with a pulse, simply requiring you to open your eyes and ears, or perhaps even a Google search if that serves you best, in a small effort to avoid being infected by the ignorance and the greatest curse to mankind in becoming Satan's servant. In this regard, the world is most concerningly not ready for AI. And I hope that this community and this council and everybody else around me really starts thinking about what that is, because it's coming, it's here, and it is absolutely poison. I'm lost in how many people my age and older have seemingly stopped caring or just efforting a half ounce of common sense to seek the truth. I give grace to those generations that have followed me because they get their information from memes and other seedy sources who prey on selfish ignorance. They need time to figure it out, but the world moves information much faster today, where everyone else needs someone in their life that will call them out on the BS to protect them and us. I have much more to say tonight, but I reach out to the community. Those of us that are now older, I get my senior citizen discount at Carl's Jr. like others now, but I feel like we need to start stepping up as a people, as a community, and we can't allow for everybody's selfish reasons to be able to feel like it's free speech. It's not free speech. Somebody's paying the price for that free speech, and I hope that we can all be better people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gabaldon. Anyone else wish to speak? Ms. Beauchamp.
Good evening, Mayor and Council again. I would like to remind the residents, especially the parents and grandparents of children, the horrific legislative assembly bill, AB 495, has passed both houses in the state of California legislature. I can't even tell you how horrendous this is. This has been sent to Governor Newsom's desk for signature for law. So I am asking that parents, community members that care about kids, please contact the governor's office, area code 916-445-2841. You can also send him an email. Go to the website, gov.ca.gov, and send him an email and ask him to please not sign this into law. In a nutshell, this legalizes kidnapping, where someone can download an affidavit, fill it out with false information, pick up your child at school or daycare, and the school does not contact the parent, nor do they require a photo ID to match the information on the form. We cannot allow a law like this to be implemented. There's many of you that might be familiar with Pastor Jack Hibbs. He's the pastor of Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills. He is telling his own membership and people in his church, if this law passes, you need to pack up your bags and move your family out of the state. That's how detrimental this law is to your children and grandchildren, nieces and nephews, kids of the community. I'm an umpire for Little League and girls softball. I just worked games yesterday in Claremont, and there's so many parents who are not even aware of this law. We've just got busy living our lives, and we don't pay attention to the laws that our supposed elected officials are creating. And for a lack of a better word, it is just evil. To allow someone to pick up your child without your consent is nothing but evil. And I hope that this entire council will condemn that law and also contact the governor's office as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beauchamp. Anyone else wish to speak on any items? Public comment? We're going to go ahead and close public comment. Any of the dais? Councilmember Lau.
So a couple things to share with the community. If you didn't know, on this past Saturday, University of La Verne hosted College Expo, which welcomed a number of universities and colleges, as well as vocational schools and other opportunities for education and advancement. and welcomed busloads of students from many communities to the campus so that they could explore their options for furthering their career journeys and their pathways in life. And I share this because as a person who went to college but had parents that didn't go to college in the United States, being first generation was difficult, not knowing what path to take. We didn't have the money to take me on college tours to explore different places to go to school and get educated. And the expo was an opportunity for families to bring their children and be exposed to different places to go to college, or if not, college isn't for them, what vocational opportunities were available. So I share that because I think that was a great resource for not just this community, but the surrounding communities. And I want to applaud the fact that we had something like that type of a resource so readily available. And I wanted to commend our public safety and our public works and everybody who helped to keep order at the event as well. And so wanted to just make you aware of that. If you're not aware, I don't know if they're going to try to make it an annual thing, but it's the National College Readiness Foundation, I believe, that comes and puts these on. So if you have young people in your lives that are maybe looking at things that they may want to do, I think this was really easy, especially if you're not, financially privileged to be able to jet set your kid to, the East Coast to check out a school or to, wherever. So wanted to share that. Also wanted to share that this Saturday is the University of La Verne's football season opener against Willamette. So that's at 12 noon. So for anyone who's looking for something to do on a Saturday and want to see some good D3 football, please feel free to come on out. And because I know ULV is a big part of this community, our homecoming is the weekend of October 3rd through the 5th. And there are a number of events, including a brunch on that Friday celebrating our Golden Leopards. So basically our folks who have graduated 50 years plus out from the university. So it's I wasn't. I was like, your kid's not old enough either. Yeah. So there's quite a few folks that I know who live in Hillcrest and other places that go out and celebrate. And it's an opportunity for them to have a reunion with their fellow colleagues and folks. So, but it is open to friends and family of the university. There are a lot of events that are free, including a pre-party before the game that day on Saturday. So if you're interested, I urge you to take a look. There will be a lot of fun things happening for kids as well. So as always, I think, be kind to each other. I think, recognizing that, nobody should be a victim of gun violence. That's not the world I want to live in, and so I think, in conjunction with the words that were spoken today by residents, I think I like Mr. Bowen. I hope it's not true that someone brought a gun to campus. I mean, I hope the reports are accurate, but I hope that that's not what the path that we're going on. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize the students that were also shot in Colorado last week. I mean, I think that we're a little bit desensitized to how many school shootings there are, and it's frightening. So, I, as always, just be kind to each other, try to practice compassion, and be safe. Oh, that was there. That's all.
Councilmember Johnson.
Just looking forward to the Gold Line coming to town finally. It's going to be interesting how that is handled and what, hopefully it's all good, but we have to prepare for the not so good. Looking to our police department, keep everything under control. That's my concern for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Mayor Pro Tem Cash.
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier this month, myself and my colleague Wendy Lau were at Hillcrest for our first town hall. I think it was a great opportunity for the community to come and speak. And I want to thank our city staff. It took a lot to get everybody prepared and there. So we had some great questions. Hope we answered the best we can. I love having dialogue with community. I love having dialogue with people. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. But what my colleague also mentioned is true, that, we've kind of lost this, not here, but just nationally. I'd like to bring that back. It's okay to agree to disagree. Can we just move on? Okay to disagree. move on. You know what I mean? I have no hate in my heart. Anybody. It's a big word. So I'm a combat-proven veteran. So for me, I'd love to have a great dialogue moving forward. So anyways, this is what I love about our city. A kid that was raised in the city since I was very young. And I look forward to a lot of good things in our city. I support all our staff, police, fire, public works, everybody, hand in hand to keep everybody safe. Whether it's a tree that falls, it's a fire. I know every one of our, I can speak myself, Councilmember Johnson, Councilmember Lau, who've had our family members taken to hospital by our fire department. You know, we don't forget that. Or our police officers that respond when I call at 3 in the morning, where their motto is no call is too small. Or a possible hot prowler or somebody just breaking into cars. I appreciate you. And I was waiting for Sergeant Major to give out that knife blade, but Sergeant Major didn't give that knife blade out today. That's okay, brother. We're here for you. We're here for all the staff. And we'll continue to push that way. Okay, to have dialogue. But we're going to be there for one another. Because it's true, no call is too small. And we're going to be there as a council, all right, for our city. If you guys elected me, elected us, and we're going to continue to support you. All right, and I look forward. School started, right? Gosh.
Just slightly.
Just a little
About
bit.
3 weeks in now.
I know 3 weeks in, but I
remember what I
haven't seen
said?
you.
Drive slower.
I haven't seen
Pay
it.
attention.
You know, I even showed up last week because I really thought it was on my calendar. That's another story.
You know, you're on a mic.
I
Probably
know.
didn't need to tell everybody that.
That's
but
okay.
whatever.
You know, so motivated to be here.
Anyway.
So that we got going on. Please be safe. I know another safety point. Please, if you have kids or your neighbors or your friends, they're on these Ceron bikes. I beg you, please. I had to yell at a couple kids this weekend. I'm not one to yell, but I was really worried about their safety when they're going the wrong way down the street, especially down Esperanza. Yeah, popping wheelies. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to pop wheelies. And I love for kids to be happy, love to be thriving, love to be safe. But please, just tell a neighbor, tell a friend, and I look forward to talking to the chief of police, see what we can do moving forward. And that's all I have. Thank you, and congratulations to everybody that serves on our committees. They got selected. Please put the city first. Take care of one and take care of all. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Well, I want to thank all the people that did apply. There'll be other opportunities. I'm sure we'll be building more committees. So thank you all for applying. Those that didn't get it, just keep trying. These are great committees. We've reformed everything. I think it's a great opportunity for you to serve. I myself served on the Planning Commission for 3 years before I decided to draw my hat in the political arena. But thank you all. And I think you'll enjoy the committees and how they're formed now. So, and also, as Councilmember Lau stated, you know, constitutional right of freedom of speech and a way like that. It's a shame. It's just a shame that even though if you may not agree with the individual, that doesn't give you the right to kill someone. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And that's where we're at right now. We need to figure out how we can come together as groups of people and say, hey, this is wrong, no matter what the side of the fence you're on. It's wrong. You can't take a person's life. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. With that, before we adjourn, and I've got tonight, we lost one of our officers that was on our force for a while, but I'd like to go into have a closed session on tonight. I would like a closed session tonight after our meeting. How do we do that?
You want to resume on the items we've already discussed?
Yes, I do. I want to resume on the items we've already discussed.
All right, then we can recess back to closed session.
Or recess back to closed session.
And then we will adjourn from there.
Okay. With that, tonight we adjourn the meeting in memory of retired Laverne Police Corporal Jimmy Royal, who passed away on Friday after a courageous battle with cancer, surrounded by his family and loved ones. Jimmy joined our police department in 1969 after serving in the United States Army and completing a tour in Vietnam. Over the course of 40 years of service, he became one of the first motorcycle officers in our department. I think I got a ticket from Mr. Royal, but I'm not sure. I think Steve did too. Setting a standard of professionalism and dedication that inspired many who came after him. Jimmy was known for his friendly yet professional personality, whether it was through a smile, a conversation, or even a citation. He built lasting relationships in the community he loved to serve. His approach The policing reflected care, compassion, and genuine commitment to people, which left a lasting foundation for those who followed in his footsteps. Jimmy had a true passion for traffic safety. He dedicated much of his career of keeping our roads safe, ensuring that drivers like myself and pedestrians alike were protected, even if he did give us a ticket. His efforts not only reduced dangers on our streets, but also showed his deep commitment to the well-being of the community he served. When Jimmy retired in 2009, his call sign, Mary One, was retired with him, a fitting tribute to a man who gave so much of himself to his department and his city. We extend our heartfelt condolences to Jimmy's family and friends. His memory will remain a part of our community and our police department, and will be remembered as a true public servant who wore the badge with honor. May he rest in peace. With that, our next regular council meeting will be on Monday, October 6th at 5:30 p.m. As a reminder, upcoming events and meetings are posted on the last page of the city council meeting. We will be recessing at 8:52 p.m. into closed session. Thank you all.
All right.